all team leaders, since you have not sent in your team announcement for the 1500 round yet, please remember to do so. So all team leaders, if you have not sent in your team announcement for the 3 o'clock round, please make sure that you do not forget. Thank you very much.
Burada oynayacağız galiba. Eski bu değil mi? Evet. Şimdi bütün tekrar malzemeyi aldıktan sonra bu dışarıda olması. Tabii tabii. Hani cam ya. Tabii tabii. Hiç bol bir şey var. Tabii tabii. Bir yan. Bekleyelim. Burada mı? Now, since we're together, I will just remind you about it, okay? So from the start, we are playing each other, okay? From the start. So every you have 35 seconds, and when it's 25 seconds, I say time. You have 9 seconds more, and if you need extension, you can use an extension just once, which is 25 seconds extra for that shot. Sorry. And if you need an extension, please say it a little loud so that I can hear, because I will be sitting there or standing there at a decent distance with music. So no problem. No problem. No problem. After the break shot, you have 60 seconds. And this is live stream. So when you put the last especially when the hot tempo and the cue is still moving, please, until it stops, don't take the balls out. Okay? Because again, I mean, we're playing on the other side, rather around between you and two. Okay? So good luck. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to start or shall I start? We're going to start. You will make some practice. Yeah, make some. Until they tell us to start. How much time do you have practice? Yeah, not much, but you start practicing at least one rep each maybe.
You know the table to raise if you want.
No, yeah. When they tell us, please start, then I will stop you and we'll start, okay?
Do you rank balls, by the way?
You do the ranking. You do the ranking for yourself. I'll do the scoring for you. So it's about to start. That's why he just told me that, you know, after the balls. Sorry.
You're not allowed to play since 6 hours.
Okay, I did. Make a good game.
Hello and welcome to the Predator Epbf European Pool Championships. This is the seniors division, and in the 55 plus category we have another great match coming up between now probably one of the most difficult names in the field, Erdem Adil Ucelci, but we are going to say Erdem the whole match, from Turkey, and he will be facing from the Netherlands, so that means one of the locals, as the tournament is in Assen, that's in the Netherlands, the Dutchman Peter de Vries. This is a quarterfinal match, and well, both gentlemen looking to win their first medal for this year's European Championships. I have not seen their names in the semi-finals of the 55 plus straight pool, so that means that we will have a new medalist this year. Now, the second discipline of this European Championships is 10 ball. We're playing a race to 7, alternating the breaks. And we will be using a break box. So, as you can see, on the top side of the table, there is 2 vertical stripes. And as you can see, the players have to be breaking from outside those stripes, just to make the rack less predictable. Now Erdem starting off with a dry break, and if you look at the 1 ball, leaving the 1 ball in front of the corner, not the best start really for him. Now it's always challenging, of course. A rack of 10 ball is quite different than a rack of 9. In 9 ball usually you're able to run the cue ball around a lot more space, free space on the table. It's not always the case in 10 ball. And as you can see, he did not land on the 3 ball there. Was trying to play the short side. And we will have our first safety of the match played by Peter. Played an excellent shot there behind the 10. I'm quite sure we are going to see the jump cue coming out. But even if you make the jump on the 3 ball, not guaranteed to be on the pink 4, the bottom short rail. Well, does make a good hit, but an open opportunity for Peter to once again try to run out this rack. still has to run the cue ball quite a couple rails to get on the 4. And then also the positional area to get on the 5 is small, and he slightly overcut the 3 ball there and might have gotten away with it. Yeah, felt like the jump was too far to reach over the 9 and still hold the cue ball on the table. And decided to messe into it. Yeah, not just pocketing the ball was going to be difficult, also the shape on the 4 most difficult. So once again, a little bit of a nervy start for both. I mean, like I said, 10 ball usually offers quite some clusters, difficult positions. And for the opening rack in the quarterfinal of the European Championships, I can understand they might be not so fluent yet. I mean, I think it's a very safe thing to say. Well, 3-wheel shape. Does the cue ball stop in time? Played it a bit speedy. The adrenaline there. Is he going aggressive on a 7-9 combination? No, he did choose a far more solid shot there. Kind of like what he's played there. Big distance. Even the jump. The 7 is quite off the rail for the bank. And it's quite the cut to the corner. So, difficult leave. Any roll behind the 8? Yes, he's got it. Wow. Sometimes pool just really amazes me how it's still possible to get the cover in this kind of shot with only 3 more balls on the table. 4 including the 7 and 5 of course including the white. But for the 7 ball to land fortunate in this case. So now trying to hide the cue ball behind the 8. Honestly, a pretty good try. I think it might have landed like just not behind the 8. Slightly a bit of cut on the kick. Just wondering if there is a reason why he's played it that firm. Was he still slightly hooked a bit on the 8 and did he jump full cue over the edge? Well, either way, he did not get on the 8, and he's now left a great chance for Peter. More space at the table, so more maneuvering with the cue ball. Or more room to maneuver the cue ball on the table, of course. Oh. And he scratched. Yeah, honestly, not so sure why he was going back. Could have played 3 rails forward. Could have played 2 rails back and forth. Twice the long rail. Really drew the cue ball all the way to the other side of the table. Don't think that was necessary and made the shot a lot tougher. So now it's Erdem on the 9 and straight on the 10 to get the first rack on the board. And as I always like to say, to win your first rack or to win the first rack in the match always is going to settle you down a bit, and quite sure that's also how it's gonna work in this match. So the opening rack goes to Erdem Adil Ucelci. Now, my apologies for everybody watching if I might not be pronouncing his name completely well. Hopefully I'm partially okay. That would be a big victory for me today. So in the second rack, Peter de Vries to break. Does make a ball on the break, no future on the 1. And definitely a safety. Cue ball to the bottom short rail. Low right. Like a quarter ball hit. Have to say, Peter's defense looking well. Has found the hook on almost every safety shot he's played. It's just that he missed that open 8 ball, which I'm quite sure nobody really expected to happen. Nice tap on the table from Erdem there. Made a good contact on the 1, but of course you're never gonna be completely sure with that pace where the 1 ball is going to land. Yeah, failed opportunity there for Erdem to pocket the 2 ball. And then again, if you look at this layout, most of the time people would look at this and say, oh, there's no clusters on the table, so it's an easy run out. But the shape from this 4 ball to the 5 is difficult. The 5, as you can see, does not go by the 8 and the 9. So it has to be pocketed in the bottom right corner, which that means you will need perfect cue ball speed. Got quite close. I mean, didn't think he had enough angle to stun off the rail, but he did. See, low right spin, leave the 6 to the top left. Oh, and that nudge on the 8. I mean, he's disappointed. On the other side, was not supposed to bump the 8 there. Yeah, used the dart stroke. Does make the 6, but does not count. 10 ball is a call shot game, so that means in this case Erdem gets the opportunity to either play himself or give it back to his opponent. But I would say you would definitely play yourself here on the 7. I mean, it's not easy positions, just like this one. You have to play a nice quality stroke to kill the cue ball near the center of the table, and every time that cue ball lands a little bit awkward, it's the long difficult shots near the end of the rack which are being missed. And the pretty straight ones that are going in. That 7 ball was nicely cued. Nicely executed. And now he's quite low on this 8 ball. Quite low in the cue ball. Yeah, can clearly see the nerves tapping the table there. Asking the cue ball, please stop. I don't want more angle. And then now a shot on the 10 to double the lead, 2-0. Yeah, which he does nice and clean. So Erdem Adil Zelci doubles the score, 2-0 in this race to 7. Of course, like I mentioned, this is a quarterfinal, but also makes it single elimination. And well, besides losing a match to win the medal, he might have to wait a day, maybe 2 days before the next discipline starts. Usually in these European Championships, I usually was trying to tell myself, just try to have a match every day. So, because sometimes if you go early, if you have an early exit in one of the first disciplines, you might have to wait a couple days. And, well, you didn't go somewhere just to sit around and wait till you're finally ready to play again. So it's not the I have to win everything kind of method. It's more like, you know, try to stay alive in every discipline you play. And then eventually a deep run could happen. Yeah, stayed at the table for a bit. Really couldn't understand how he had a dry break. I have to say, he did cut the break quite a bit there. And now again, this long 2 ball has to play low right spin, go 2 rails, center of the table. Has missed 2 shots like this, but not this time. You can see he's a little bit jumpy, a little bit moving on the shot. Quite sure that's the nerves. But only is gonna make the game more difficult. Yeah, could play the same long distance again behind the 10-7. Yeah, I have to say he played another good safety shot there. If you look at how he drew the cue ball away from running into the 9. Jump cue coming out once again. This one a little steeper angle, so the cue elevating more into the air. Does get the hit, and then again somewhat of a leave. I kind of feel like the pool gods, the angels, are slightly favoring Erdem. On the other side, you could say they were trying to give something for Peter. Peter just missing a couple balls here and there. And that, I don't think, was very possible. I had to play such a delicate stroke to keep the pace low on the pink 4. Now, let's see what we have on the 6. Because he's going 3 rails. Does have to get at least to the other side of the table. And it came up short. Yeah, it does have a very, very short backswing. So when opening up to address the cue ball, he doesn't open up all the way when he needs to generate more speed. It makes it more difficult to feel the correct speed of the shot as well. So it's either too firm, too soft, too firm. And thus losing the shape. Yeah, this time not finding the hook. Nonetheless, still a difficult shot. If you look at the 8 only able to the bottom right, difficult to make the 7 and cross over 2 rails for the 8 in the bottom right, but it's not impossible. Could also play with the inside spin and got 3 rails. I think for most of the people, they already realized, okay, maybe play safe, bank the 7 ball, 4 rails. Problem is with this shot, it's quite difficult, and if you seem to miss it, you might leave something like this. It's a great chance for Peter. Would be nice to see him get going a bit. Definitely looking forward to a close match where both players are playing up to their level, their speed, and so far I feel like we haven't seen that from Bonte yet, but definitely not from Peter. Peter just struggling overall. Yeah, as you can see, the short stuff in general works pretty good for him, as he does have that short stroke. He does run out the 3rd rack. A little bit surprised Erdem went aggressive on that 7 ball. But the Dutchman cleared up, pulls one back, still trailing 2-1. Right back into this battle for that medal. At least the bronze medal at stake in this match, and the possibility, an opportunity to go for gold. I mean, obviously that's what everybody likes to go for. Yeah, does manage to make a ball on the break, but unfortunately for him, cue ball flying off the table. And let's have a little look around at this table. First thing you have to acknowledge is, okay, what position needs more work? So possibly the 4 ball in this case. Quite. Oh. Ay. Yeah, as you can see, he's quite surprised himself that happened. Returning the favor to Peter. And now, like I mentioned, the 4. What's the plan with the 4? Like, I would never be too worried about the 1, 2, and the 3. It's mainly what to do on the 4. It might go to the bottom left. So that could be a way. With the 5 in front of the corner, might be one of his best chances. Ideally, would be getting close to where he is now. If you run too far, you might not even end up with a shot. Now, don't forget, obviously all the quarterfinals in play now. And imagine you've been playing the whole day, because they've played a couple rounds already today. Imagine they played the whole single elimination till the quarterfinals now without the shot clock, managing the nerves, which possibly could have already been very high. To then in the end, or this might not be the end, but then now to come to the TV table and getting the shot clock. And the shot clock really changes things around. Maybe both of them feeling a bit rushed. Did put a good stroke on that one, and this time now needs a less punchy, just some outside spin. Ooh. Surprised he didn't go 2 rails around the 10, and this 9 now suddenly a trickier shot than he really wanted to have. But looks like he's just only going to make the ball and cross over past the side, not bringing the cue ball over to the same side, and he's missed the 9. Not like this 9 is easy at all, but it's a chance for Erdem. Like I said, the worst thing is also knowing that you have to cut the ball in and have to take on that long 10 ball. Like, there was no shape he could have played on the next. Yeah, so Peter cutting the 9 in and getting on the 10. Gets him at 2 each. Of course, I just spoke about the pressure, the nerves, the shot clock. Maybe the first time playing in such a setup. But I don't think it's gonna be any better once we get towards the end of the match, so possibly a lot more drama to come. Now, you cannot compare this kind of event like yourself playing in the pool room or maybe in some kind of bar. I mean, whenever you make it to like a quarterfinal, and especially in a European championships, it's like a continental championship, I would say the nerves are extremely high, and this is really where champions are born, are made. I mean, it's really not that easy as it looks at times. Unfortunately, I have to talk from my own experience there. Have also struggled with getting over the line in the past. Yeah, you can just see that bit of doubt when he cuts these balls in. And that's just because he has such a pokey stroke. His whole body is kind of living the shot, kind of helping it go in. Now, if you look at this run out, I'm not sure if the 7 goes to the bottom left. So that might be something to work on. If the 7 goes, doesn't have to be a very difficult layout if you think about the 5 being near the 6, and the only thing you gotta do is cross over from the 6 to the 7. Still quite a lot of angle in this 4. Easy to run too far. When that object ball is frozen to the rail, it doesn't catch the draw before touching the rail, so it bounces off the rail first and then it starts to take the draw. And the newer the cloth is, the slower that reaction. I have to say, he did land alright. Has left himself a nice angle now to cross over on the 7. Not sure where this came from. It's like Adam gifted 2 racks back to Peter to then now suddenly to get going. He's played a beautiful shot there from 6 to 7. Like I said, for me it's not a doubt if these gentlemen can play. For me, it's trying to understand what they are feeling at this moment. A little bit pacey. Could have left that for the 9 in the side. And did get awkward off angle. If you consider all the shapes he could have gotten, could have also played more angle. Like run the cue ball a little bit further. But at least it's a chance for Peter to take the first lead of the match. And he does pocket a nice 9 ball, perfect draw and straight on the 10. So the initiative possibly with the Dutchman. Yeah, you could see on his face what that meant to him. Knew that he stole possibly a very, very important rack by making that 9. Cued the 9 perfect. So now Prater breaking. Does not manage to make a ball. And Adam looking to go very aggressive. Cut the 1 off the 3 in the side. Run the cue ball maybe into the 6-10. And get something on the 2. I wouldn't see another option, but I have to say, possibly he could also play a safety. He doesn't have to go that aggressive. But there might also be some frustration. He was up 2-0. Definitely had 2 more opportunities to make that lead bigger. Well, and with 10 balls at the bottom side of the table. What a mess. So now low left, draw to the short side of the 3-ball. And then what is the plan on the 5? You might have to go 2 rails around the 4 and then just play safety behind the 7 on the 5. Sometimes it's better to duck than to try something aggressive and not getting there. Yeah, not enough inside spin. Especially in this case, I'm drawing back to the bottom short rail, low right. Be there, yes, and play safety behind the 7. I think that's a winning safety if played perfect. Not too sure whether he was looking about something around the 10 or ish, but yeah, I would say this is the best shot he could have played. Could have done with maybe freezing the cue ball closer to the 7. But it's always easy to say afterwards. In the end, he did get the hook. In the end, he keeps the initiative and oh, even a massé kick. Nice hit. Where's the cue ball? Down the drain. We might see Peter overtake this match this way. Peter checking if that was the second foul in a row. But Peter, he figured it out himself that this was the first one. I was also going quite deep into my own thoughts, but I do not remember 2 in a row. Well, if that 6-ball passes, I didn't think it did go past the 10. But yeah, just make sure to stay away from awkward cueing over the 8. I think he's done well on the 7 to the side. Yeah, if you look just at the way he struck that, it just looks a little bit nervy, but right now he's definitely finding his rhythm around the table. And we will have to see him do a bit more with the cue ball. See, overall, I think he doesn't play too bad. I think he really stepped it up since the beginning, but the pace of the table has been a struggle. But he's played a great shot from 9 to 10. So it looks like the Dutchman is going to take a big lead, coming back from 2-0 down to 4-2 up. Just wondering, this would be one of those moments if I would be Erdem. 4-2, 5-2, that would be... For me, that would be the moment to say, you know, let's take a little break and see if I can change my own game, change my opponent's game, possibly, just overall. Yeah, then again, nothing going on in on the break. No open shot on the 1, but look at this for safety behind the 10, sending the 1 ball down table. Wouldn't say it's too difficult. Just gotta make sure you don't, by accident, bank the 1 ball into the corner. And especially if he knew he was going to play that wide, he could have played it more pace. Bring the 1 underneath the 8-6. I do believe this 1 ball is on. 2 ball next to it, 3 ball in the open. Not impossible. I have to say, he's elevating quite a bit. Oh, what a shot there. Full cue jump. Or at least it looked like a full cue. Excellent jump shot there. I was just gonna say, looks like quite a bit of elevation on that jump for just a slight edge, but definitely has the initiative now to play the cue ball behind the 8. Nice shot there also. That's 2 in a row. Yeah, missed the kick and a ball in hand for Adam. Well, I feel like if he gets down 5-2, things could start to slip away from him. Needs to get things back together. Now slightly off angle to draw straight over. If he plays too firm with the draw, might run into the 9. Oh, how's the bump? This might not be cuttable. Well, he's looking like I have to go now. Oh, from this angle it looks better, but the 10 ball will be moving. Does he land on the 10? Well, I don't think he can complain there. 10 ball hitting the side pocket point, coming right back. And reducing the deficit for Erdem Adil Zelci, who, well, I don't think he's ran out so nicely so far this match. The first 2 games, kind of a gift from Peter. So now the 8th rack coming up. Peter will be breaking, still from the same spot. Haven't seen too many balls go in. The one break where he made balls on the break, the cue ball flew off the table. And then again finds a way to make the ball on the break and scratches straight into the side. What a chance to come back at the table after that nice run out for Zelci with ball in hand. Now needs a bit of right spin to go 2 rails to the center of the table, or the 4 in the left center. Yeah, to hold the cue ball on the left side of the 4, I think that was always going to make you miss the 3 ball, unless you would have played it with a drip of inside, which at that point is gonna make the shot a lot tougher. And these kind of shots, they really fascinate me at times. Peter did apologize there. Of course, there's quite some luck involved there. Did make a good solid hit, but how the object ball sometimes can go off 2 balls and go wide in the open and still get the hook. You could say if it's your day, it's your day. But eventually that luck always evens out over the match. Yeah, quite similar. Well, looked to be quite similar. But there is a cut on the 3 ball. One that Peter might be able to reach. But I definitely would need a ladder to get there. Well, I think we really have found ourselves some big match here. Both gentlemen refusing to give up. Oh, what has he played there? Why did he not stun the cue ball 2 rails around it? Aye. That mistake can cost him quite a bit. Both are putting on the big grind, but... Yeah, really only the 6 ball being a slight bit of challenge for Peter if you look at how nicely he's going to get on the 9. Could leave himself near the bottom short rail to go 1 rail towards the 10. Could leave himself high to go 2 rails. He's got plenty of options. Just try to get yourself, well, near the 10 enough. Oh, pretty near. Almost straight as you could see. So this, to get 1 step closer to the medal. This is to make 5-3. Yeah, it looks like Peter has chosen to take his timeout, trying to relax to get the last 2 racks on the board for him to win the medal. So I'm gonna nip out for a little bit too, but I promise I'll be right back. Stay tuned. No, just wondering. I'm assuming he went for his timeout. Could also possibly have went for, well, just a little bit more water, as you could see. Did also bring some for his opponent. Nonetheless, I'm guessing... No, I have no idea what we're waiting for. Think it's Erdem to break the balls. The Dutchman 5-3 up. Peter de Vries. Well, this time making a ball on the break and getting a shot on the one. We haven't seen this too much in the match. Quite a nice layout. Just this one ball to get on the two. We'll have to cut this in and nick the two ball over to the corner. What a shot he's played there. Nicely done. Yeah, it does have the wrong angle, a slight angle towards the 9, and cue ball on the rail. Looks like he is trying to draw back for the 4, maybe in the bottom left, but as you can see, quite awkward. I'm just wondering, does he still have it to the bottom right? Might still be on. But I think he just asked the referee to, if he would want to check it together with him, because it is close. Yeah, I have to say, did come up with a couple good shots. But to him now hooking himself on the 5, needs to save himself a bit. And then now the opportunity to bring this match on the hill for himself, Peter de Vries. Ball in hand, stop shot on the 5 already works. A good angle from the 6 to the 8. Wow. Oh, the disappointment. Sure, he's realizing also there was a huge chance. Ball in hand, 5 balls, all in the open. Now with this angle, could still play to the left side of the 10, but has to hit it quite smooth. Just like that, nicely played. He's going to pull one back. He's still in it to win it. Erdem Adil Uzelci, but has to make this 10. And does make the 10. So he does pull one back after that surprising mistake from Peter. Score now 5-4 and a race to 7. Is this going all the way? Yeah, first glimpse at the table. Looking quite alright. But would have been nice to at least draw all the way over to the bottom side of the table on this 2. He's also playing way more relaxed, doesn't look so hasty, and now the balls are also laying a lot better than earlier. Wow, and then to miss that 3 ball. Did he take his eye off the shot, or? That's a surprising miss. Yeah, another chance. Now still has to get to the right side of the 7, so the angle towards the long rail. 2 rails out from 6 to 7. To then draw the cue ball at least into the kitchen for the 8 in the right center. Yeah, could also stun over for the left center 2 rails, but yeah, he's played it too soft. In that case, I would always say more speed. I'd rather shoot more speed than less speed. always run too far than too short in this case. And I have to say, if he still wants to go aggressive, he is straight on the 8 to play the 8-9 combination. It's awkward, but looks to be landing straight. He's playing safe. Like I expected in the beginning of the match, this match really could start to be very nerve-wracking. They both started quite nervous, and now this is starting to get quite tense within the arena. Almost scratched in the corner for Peter, but now still a shot for Erdem, and he plays a great shot on the 8, and slowly you can see the frustration on Peter's face, knowing that he's messed it up twice now. Yeah, and he does make the out and played a good 8 ball. Prime shape on the 9. And then the 10 to tie the score at 5. Only a race to 2 from here for a place in the semi-final and a medal. And as you can see, Peter cannot believe what just happened to him. I mean, in some way I can understand how he's feeling. On the other side, I think the positional shot he just tried to play from 7 to 8 was not as easy as he probably thought. So running the cue ball quite a bit. Well, that would mean, in this case, all the initiative is with Erdem Adil Özelci, who now breaks the balls great. I mean, look at how firm he's hit him. Full in the face. Nothing going in. Well, he's on the rail. Slight angle on the 3 ball, but nothing easy at all. So he has to take on this long 4. And is also going to give himself maybe a weird angle on the 5 to get to the green 6 in the bottom of the table. Now this is one of the biggest shots, besides me doubting if the 7 goes to the bottom left or bottom right. Don't think the 7 is much available. Oh, that could be close to the scratch. Ay, ay, ay. I think this has been most of the story for Peter. I mean, if you look at the beginning of the match too, I think he was the one giving ball in hand overall on the 7, 8, 9. And if that 7 goes to the right center, possibly, they might be able to run forward. Up for the grabs. Does the 7 ball go? And how is he going to get onto it? I would probably play the 6 to the left corner and not draw back. Well, it's managing. Crazy match this has turned into. Quite interesting how in the beginning of the match Erdem was 2-0 up, then really looked like he was about to give away this quarterfinal match, started to struggle all over. His head was down, was trying to put up a fight, but just overall did not look as confident. And look at this now. High steps, focused, perfect on the 10. So a true roller coaster, not just for them, also for us. He's up 6-5. And it looks like now Erdem Adiozelci is going to take his break. Can understand, I mean, he came back from 4-2 and 5-3 to now be at least at the hill for a place in the semifinals. So while Erdem is going for his timeout, maximum 5 minutes, I will be taking a short break too. And then we'll be right back with the remainder of this exciting quarterfinal match. We'll see you in a bit. So welcome back everybody to the Predator EPBF European Pool Championships. The seniors, this is the plus 55 category. And what a match we've had between Peter de Vries from the Netherlands. He's currently facing a very tough loss against Erdem Adil Özelci and desperately needs the next two games to win his first medal for this year European Championships. What a roller coaster. The Turk being up 2-0, going down 4-2 and 5-3 to then win the next three to get on the hill first. Erdem now up 6-5. Peter making a ball on the break. Nothing on the one ball though. Trying not to be biased here, of course. Me being a Dutchie myself. Oh, he's played a nice shot there. Of course, would have liked to stick the cue ball behind the 3, but played the one ball nicely behind the 8. The biggest question for today is, are we going to see more and more drama in this match? Sometimes you know that both players are still going to miss a couple balls. And sometimes it's like one player gets ball in hand and that was it for the set. Like no more drama. They close it out in style. Which one of the two is it going to be? Is this going to be the chance? Well, I have to say the 5 not too available. Does have a couple options on it. Some traveling to do from the 5 to the 6. And the 9 ball not available to every corner. So a couple of hurdles for Erdem at the table. Well, does get on the 5. Might have to play with low right, just in front of the 8 ball. Take on more of a cut on the 6. Well, trying to get closer. Well, could not have landed any better. That's what I'm saying. Overall in the match, he saved his best for last. Can he close out the match? Great speed. Slight draw back to where he is now. Yeah, I would say stay off the rail. Just stun over a ball or two. Oh, he does get on the rail. Might have to bump the 10. always risky to bump a ball. Oh, he's going jacked up, trying to force a cue ball around. No, he played it beautifully. This 10 to win the medal. Yeah, you could see the excitement, but what a heartbreak for Peter de Vries. What a fight and what a match. But in the end, it's the Turk Erdem Adil Üzelci going through to the semi-final with a great comeback. So we will see him back later on. For now, this is it. I believe our next match is at 5 p.m. local time. So make sure you get your lunch in, and hopefully we'll see you back very soon at ProBilliardTV for the Predator IBPF European Pool Championships. Tim de Ruiter signing out. We'll see you soon.